I'm doing that. This is Killer Carl, and welcome to. This is Killer Kyle, and welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury in 2023, coming to an end.
Yeah.
Segway.
Exactly right.
We're going to talk about AEW and World's End.
Yeah.
Coming out of Long Island, New York.
I believe Uniontown.
Okay.
Which is,
New Jersey.
I guess, close to Long Island.
No, wait, that's Union City. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, there's one match I'm not particularly sure about, so we may or may not skip it. We might talk about it tonight, seeing as how it is Wednesday, but
Yep.
anyways, there's nothing to it but to get to it.
Yes, sir.
So we have an inaugural, looks like there's a tournament going on.
What was it? Full Gear? They announced they're going to do a Continental Classic. And for the Ring of Honor World Championship, the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship, and the AEW Continental Championship. So there's been two leagues, Gold League and a Blue League. And there's been really good names for each bracket. I mean, you've had Jon Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, Eddie Kingston, Roosh, Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, so on and so forth. And so the finals of the Continental Classic are going to take place on Saturday. It's the winner of the Gold League versus the winner of the Blue League to crown the first North American Triple Crown champion. For the semifinal match for the Gold League, you're going to have a match between Jon Moxley, Jay White, and Swerve Strickland. It's a three-way. Semifinals of the Blue League is going to be Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson. And of course, as we all know, Eddie Kingston is currently the Ring of Honor and New Japan Strong Openweight champion. So, he's looking to, you could say, retain the Ring of Honor and Openweight titles, and, you know, also become the Triple Crown champion.
Yeah, so that's gonna be cool. I mean, Eddie is, again, one of my favorite wrestlers. I think it'll be interesting if he gets another title added to his arsenal.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, Jay White, also a very great wrestler, dating all the way back to New Japan. In fact, I just saw one of his earlier matches from, obviously, years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show, and I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. I think whoever comes out on top in both leagues, that final match could be a really good one. One of the quarterfinal matches for tonight happened on Collision, and it was Claudio versus Danielson.
Oh, okay.
And I was just thinking, wouldn't that be something if the finals ended up Mox versus Danielson?
It's happened before. I mean, look, you got two guys that were two of the best, in WWE. You've got Bryan Danielson out of Ring of Honor. You've got Jon Moxley of CZW and elsewhere. Both badass motherfuckers. And so, they wrestled recently. They obviously wrestled, I think it was Revolution.
I believe so.
So, if that happens, that's gonna be mouth-watering in itself.
Oh, yeah. And so you got Danielson, Kingston, Mox, Swerve, Jay White. You throw any combination of those five together in the finals of this tournament, it's going to be really good. I mean, like I mentioned, Mox versus Danielson. What about Mox versus Kingston? You did Jay White versus Bryan Danielson. I think it would be a really good match. Jay White versus Eddie Kingston. Swerve versus Danielson. Swerve versus Kingston.
Yeah, and there's that thing where I think that Strickland was talking about being the first AEW black champion, I guess. I don't think he said heavyweight champion, because
I think that's his goal to be the first black AEW world champion.
So, that would be pretty cool. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like AEW's version, unintentional, mind you, but like AEW's version of like Clash of the Champions.
Oh, I guess so, yeah.
Next we have a FTW rules match for the FTW Championship as Hook defends the title against Wheeler Yuta.
Wow, this is gonna be a hell of a match.
Yeah.
I honestly think that Hook's gonna retain.
More than likely.
Nothing to take away against Wheeler Yuta. I think he's a very good wrestler. Definitely. A lot of his best matches at the Pure Tournament.
Right, yeah.
One of the best Pure champions, and of course, a part of one of the most brutal staples in professional wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
But you look at what Hook can do in the ring, and his matches last about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Usually.
Give or take.
So, yeah, you know what? It's gonna be Hook for sure.
I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Hook retains. I think Wheeler is the Pure champion right now, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I don't see them having Wheeler as a double champion. They've freaking done that shit before.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of fucking times.
But, yeah. Very likely possibility Hook will retain. For the TBS Championship, as Julia Hart defends the title against Abaddon.
That's just gonna be a treat.
Yeah, Abaddon hadn't seen her for, I'll say, at least 2 years.
No, and I know she wrestles on Dark, She must wrestle long dark. I mean, we don't see it, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you are continually keeping up with Rampage and Collision, I mean, she might have been on there. I don't know. But then you had Abaddon having a match, and then Julia Hart and Sky Blue were taking it to Abaddon, and then Thunder Rosa came in for the save, and then you had, I believe last Saturday on Collision, Sky Blue and Julia Hart versus Abaddon and Thunder Rosa in a tag match.
Yeah.
And then I think it was, I don't remember if it was Julia Hart challenged Abaddon or Abaddon challenged Julia, or whatever it was. And I mean, Abaddon's a pretty good wrestler from what I've seen of her. This character of hers is like...
She makes Rosemary blush. Well, she's...
I guess.
Well, that's not the right terminology. She's a lot more, I guess, scarier. When I first saw her, I was like, the female version of Marilyn Manson. And, like, I obviously saw, like, maybe 1 or 2 matches of hers, and that was it.
Right, yeah.
That I remember, so...
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting, and then of course you got Julia Hart, one of the members of the House of Black.
Yeah.
So, shit, it's gonna be interesting though. I mean, I don't see Abaddon go over.
Yeah, not likely.
I mean, it's almost like, what have you done for me lately, type thing. I haven't seen you, so how do I know you're any good?
Essentially, yeah.
So, yeah, and I mean, Julia's been on a fucking streak. And I can see her still have that match with Scott Lee. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm gonna say Julia's gonna retain.
Yeah. We have the main title, I guess if you want to call it that. The TBS Championship is like the mid-card championship. And we got the the big title, so to speak. The AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Tony Storm is going to go one-on-one with the first ever AEW Women's World Champion, Riho.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Toni Storm. I've been very impressed with her. I mean, since she's come into AEW, she completely transformed herself. And she's got Luther.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be a good match. And Riho definitely an OG in AEW.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a good match. I honestly want to say Toni Storm, but I could see Riho get it back.
Yeah, I mean, with this one, you could go either way. Like, with Toni Storm having won the title not that long ago, I mean, would like to see her continue her run with it.
Yeah.
If Riho was to get the title back, I mean, so be it. I got a feeling, though, that they're more than likely going to have Toni retain.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Toni time for sure. And I mean, will somebody beat her? It'll be next year. I'm sure somebody will get the title.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? I say next year. Next year's like a stone throw away, but
Yeah, exactly.
so. But it will be an awesome match for sure.
Yeah. And we have the AEW World Tag Team titles being defended. Now this match was initially supposed to be Big Bill and Ricky Starks defending against Jericho and Kenny Omega. Then of course it was announced that Kenny Omega will be out indefinitely with diverticulitis. So, and he got hospitalized and whatever, so he's out of the match. And then Jericho said he was going to find a new partner for this match. Who it's going to be, we'll probably either find out tonight or...
I thought it was very cool of Chris to talk about Kenny, obviously, in a good light. I mean, those two go way back, and it's not really unfortunate. It sucks, because, I mean, they were on a roll.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting who Chris picks as a tag team partner. I can't see them scrap the tag team match.
Yeah.
So,
like, wasn't really exactly sure if they were still going to have, like, I know they already had the match between Kenny and Chris versus the champions. And so I wasn't sure if they were just going to, okay, we'll hold off on this match, have it later down the road when Kenny's better and he's back, and then just, put another match on the card for Saturday and then, whatever. But it's like, no, we still want to have the titles defended. Short notice of, switching to somebody else to challenge for the title. So, alright, we already got Jericho. Let's have Jericho find a new partner and then go from there.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of who is going to take with Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But it's happened before, so we'll find out eventually. And honestly, the Clydesdale and the Jackass have been a very good tag team. But I honestly, if Chris gets a reliable partner, I think he's going to go over.
Possibly, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to honestly pick Jericho and whoever goes in for the title. It's an up in the air thing, but I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
In fact, I want to see Big Bill do bigger things, no pun intended.
Like, when Big Bill went to when he, got back into wrestling and saying he was an Impact, Big, as W. Morrissey then at that point, he was having really good matches, but it didn't seem like they had a really good idea what they wanted to do with him.
Yeah.
And he was only in Impact for a few months, and then he went over to AEW. He was part of the firm, and then that folded quicker than a cheap suit.
Yeah.
And I think he may have been on his own initially, then he was with the firm, and then it eventually ended up with him and Ricky Starks as champions. Well, partnered up and then as champions. And it's like, I was honestly a matter of time before Big Bill ended up with the championship. Whoever the fuck his partner it could have been. I mean, it ended up being Ricky Starks was just fine.
Yeah.
And I mean, for Ricky Starks, I mean, okay, cool. He got another title. He's, the TNT champion, which is fine. And then he ends up as a tag team champion, which is great. There really hasn't been a whole lot with Bill and Starks as the tag champions. like defending the titles. So the main focus seemed to be, Bill and Ricky and Jericho and Omega and building up to that. And then, of course, Kenny ends up out ill. And then, they still want to continue on with the match and, have a fill-in for Omega, which is fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, have not seen much of Bill and Starks as tag champions. It's like, should they take the titles off of them so soon, or have them retain the titles and then keep this thing going until Omega comes back, and then have Jericho and Omega win the tag titles?
Yeah, but I don't know how long Kenny's gonna be out for.
True.
So, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a hard call. I'm trying to, I don't know. I honestly don't know, because, it's unfortunate that it happened, but
Yeah.
it is what it is, and it has happened before. It's just kind of a shame when it does.
Yeah. And even, say Jericho and whoever his partner is going to be end up winning the tag titles, whoever him and his partner are going to be, how long are they going to have the tag titles? And then, have them lose the tag titles either to Starks and Big Bill again, and then have Omega come back and Jericho and Omega win the tag titles, or have Jericho and whoever win the titles from Bill and Starks on Saturday, have Jericho and whoever hold the tag titles until Omega comes back, Omega step in, and Jericho and Kenny go off and running with the that wouldn't make sense in my opinion. So I mean, yeah, this one's a real up in the air one.
So,
I mean, whoever Jericho partners with, I'm sure it'll be a good match. What they're gonna do with it, and the dynamic, and how they're gonna continue the story with Jericho and Omega and the tag titles and Bill and Starks and whatever, it's gonna be interesting to see how they work this.
they'll have some referees standing all in the crowd trying to pick.
Now we have for the TNT Championship. Once again, you got the world's biggest jackass, Christian Cage, going one-on-one with Adam Copeland.
The rated R Superstar.
This match, by the way, is going to be a no disqualification match.
Oh shit.
Because of the way the match ended in Montreal.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be much more brutal.
I think so.
Nobody knows each other more than Adam and, Jason, Christian, whatever. I mean, this is history we're talking about. These guys go all the way back. They were in a tag team in the early 90s. Then, of course, they go to WWE, WWF. Become one of the biggest tag teams of the Attitude Era. I mean, yeah, Adam went in first, but still. And then, of course, go to AEW, and it's first of all, nobody thought Adam Copeland was going to be going to AEW.
Yeah.
And second of all, whoever thought you would see those two face each other in an AEW ring for a championship.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, the match in Montreal was good. Unfortunately, it didn't go as planned, so yeah, no disqualification.
When Adam had that, final match with Sheamus on SmackDown, is like, okay, he's leaving WWE. It didn't seem like he had any intentions of going back. So it's like, okay, is he going to retire? Is he still going to wrestle? If he's still going to be wrestling, where's he going to go? Like, there was no hints, indications, rumors, anything that, oh, Adam Copeland's interested in AEW. He's interested in Impact. He's going to, go elsewhere. There was nothing of his intentions of what he was intending to do. And then at some point along the lines, he decides he's gonna go to AEW. He signed with them and makes his big appearance like 2 months ago.
Yeah. Who knows, maybe Alter Bridge will get the okay and perform at AEW.
Maybe.
But regardless, you know what, I'm gonna say this, and I mean, I could state the obvious, but I think Adam Copeland is gonna close out 2023 as the TNT champion.
I mean, that's a very real possibility.
I mean, for some reason, Cody Rhodes closed out 2022. What's it, 22, 21? I think it was, no, it's 21. As the TNT champion for some reason.
Right, yeah.
And then it was like, yeah, that didn't last for some reason. It just, whatever. I think it's time. And I mean, going into 2024, the matches that they can have. I mean, they can actually have another ladder match in AEW.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Adam Copeland. But
yeah, I mean, like, as far, in my opinion, we've seen Christian enough with a damn championship. I mean, when fucking Luchasaurus was the champion, he fucking wore the belt. Then he ends up winning, or actually legitimately winning the fucking belt in triple threat, I think it was. Christian and Luchasaurus against, I don't even remember who the fuck it was. And he's defended the title here and there. But it's like, okay, you're this obnoxious, huge pain in the ass, whiny, sniggly, snot nose little bitch. Father of the year, my ass. And just, like, Christian as a heel has always been great. Hell, he got the TNT championship, which is fine. It's just like, I believe it's time to pass it on, so to speak.
yeah.
Even if it's too Adam, fine, whatever, but like, pass the day. Move on, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't see Nick Wayne getting involved in living, so.
Yeah. Highly anticipated match that's been hyped up for the better part of at least 3 months or so for the AEW World Championship, MJF versus Samoa Joe.
Hell yeah, brother. So, I mean, look, I love to see MJF as a face.
Yeah.
He's a very convincing heel, but ever since winning the tag team titles with Adam Cole, it's kind of like, yeah, Adam's injured right now.
Yeah.
I will give out a spoiler, though. I honestly still think that he's the devil.
How much sense would that make, though?
I don't know, to be, if he's not the devil, then I don't know who would be.
Because, like, you have MJF and the Acclaimed and, you know, that whole thing, and then the Acclaimed get attacked, and then somebody else got attacked. That was, you know, friends or whatever with MJF. And then you see MJF get a beer bottle cracked on the back of his head like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, if they're giving the indication that MJF is the devil, it's like, okay, one, they're pulling it off very well, but two, is like, what's the point?
Well, and that's what I mean. What is the point? I don't want to see MJF as a heel again. He's made very good progress as a babyface.
Right.
Him and Samoa Joe do have that somewhat history, the backstage excitement on NXT.
Yeah.
And they work well together. And then so it's like, yeah, I want to see this match. I want to see no screwy finish. I don't want to see MJF turn heel and be the devil. Because that would have been a big waste of fucking time.
Yeah.
At the same time, I mean, is it Samoa Joe's time to finally become the AEW champion?
I honestly wouldn't have an issue with Joe winning the title at all.
Yeah.
I mean, MJF has been a great world champion. He's held the title over a year.
Yeah, exactly.
If MJF retains, like, okay, cool. Where do you go from here with the title and MJF? Could you have MJF retain the title and then maybe whoever the devil is, you know, build up to that, MJF versus the devil next paper, or, you know, at some point down the line?
Yeah, I think so. That would be interesting, actually.
I mean, even if Joe wins the title, like, okay, there's so many people you could have Joe have a match against. I mean, like, this whole devil storyline has been really interesting. However, it ultimately culminates. It'd be interesting to see.
I mean, I know we did the whole thing at Double or Nothing, or MJF was the devil, or whatever.
Right.
I just don't see it happen again.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
So, that being said, obviously, we are going to pick Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what happens. I mean, who knows? Maybe the devil will cost MJF the title.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen.
Only time will tell.
I could very easily see them reveal who the devil is on Saturday.
Yeah, I can too, that's the thing. I don't think it'll be Wednesday. Well,
No.
tonight, but still.
Like, I really don't, like, how could you build it up more to where, okay, MJF's had enough, he wants to know who the devil is, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to find out who the devil is, and then he's like, I'll put up my title on the line to find out who you are, you know, well, I'll beat you and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do that route, but I like, it's been an interesting storyline, it's been a good storyline, but it's like, I think it's gone long enough to where it's like, okay, people are starting to speculate MJF's the devil. MJF has been very adamant that he's not the devil. Heading into this match on Saturday, it'll be, you know, whatever comes of it, maybe there'll be involvement from the devil or not, who knows, but like, I think, like, let's see who the devil is come Saturday.
I mean, it's gonna be a good match for sure, obviously, but there's just a lot of layers, and then we're gonna have possibly a lot more feuds heading into 2024.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, as you can see, we're not wearing our pay-per-view premium live event glasses, but
Right.
I wasn't organized anyways, so... yeah, New Year's is coming up.
Yep.
Join us for our Wheels of Fury.
New Year's Eve special.
Yep. It's gonna be awesome. There's a surprise I want to share and make our channel a little bit better. So we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a fun New Year's. It's been a fast 2023.
Aye.
So hell yeah. So anyways, for me, Matt, this is Kyle. And we're better than you.
And you know it.
Deuces.
Peace.